In April 2018, I made a video about Wings of Redemption, and I showed it to my psychology class. It was called Cinema in Psychology, and the whole point of the class was to understand why characters in movies made the decisions that they made, and also to understand why the writers and creators of the movie would have made that decision for the character. And for the particular assignment that we were working on, we were supposed to make mini documentaries, and we were supposed to. The one thing that they said to us was we want it to not just be a regular everyday thing, of being a regular everyday person, a regular everyday story that you could find anywhere you look, to the left of you, to the right of you, not just in a person in your friends or family, but just not someone who is just like, oh, I wake up, I go to school, I go do my homework, and then I go to sleep. Like, they were looking for something that was a little bit unusual, a little bit different than normal, and the way that they phrased it was a story that doesn't normally get to be told in the mainstream, that isn't the norm. And they also suggested that we should use our own life, our own personal interests to guide our decision making in this, because they wanted something, they wanted a story, they wanted a person that we were passionate about. A lot of people interviewed people in their lives who did big things but weren't expected to at the time, and there were a lot of grandmothers who were the first women to have high positions in companies. There were a lot of stories of people of color getting opportunity or not getting opportunity throughout their lifetime. And then I showed one about Wings of Redemption, and it was a bit of a shifting gears, and it was also a different time in the Wings of Redemption alternate life. At that point in time, Wings was having all of his outbursts. He was banning subs and followers, being very mean to other people in chat and into his own mods and to everything like this. And he was not accepting any kind of responsibility for his actions. He was not prepared to improve. He was not seeing anything that he was doing as a problem, and rather blaming all of these problems that are all of these trolls, all of these people giving him a hard time on stream. He was blaming all of this on other people, and it was easy to create the narrative, to shape the narrative, to show that happening. It was very easy to just show how he behaved on live stream, a stream that he set up. And some people felt bad. Some people did not like what I had chose, the person I had chose to create this about. They were a little bit, they felt I was picking on someone, but other people felt like they saw the aspects of this guy is putting him, like, he's the one deciding to stream this. He's the one that decided, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to stay live, and I'm going to start crying, and I'm going to keep crying while I'm on stream. And there were a lot of people who made that decision. There were a few people who understood the Twitch as a platform. A lot of people didn't understand what Twitch was. There was a lot of questions about what that was. But I think mostly people saw a person from the outside. They saw the examples of this guy being a terrible person in his live streams, but they didn't have the years worth of experience, I guess, of seeing it from his Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 days all the way through the Rainbow Six present day current time. And so excuse me, it was interesting to see people have a fresh take on it and not have the usual experience with Wings, that is him doing something to earn you as a fan, him keeping you as a fan for a while, then him doing terrible, mean things and not accepting any responsibility, not apologizing for it, and then somehow winning you back over again to be on his team. And somehow he is always able to manage to get people to like him. And it's not necessarily a manipulative, intentional, lying maneuver kind of thing. He's a likable person. He's, as the debate goes, he's charismatic. He has something about him that people enjoy and want to look at, whether or not, and maybe I'm wrong about this, and maybe the thing that people want to look at is not charisma or not personality, but it's literally just the rage. Maybe that is true. Maybe that is 100% on point. But there is something keeping people looking at him. There is something about keeping people wondering what he's up to and what he's doing. And I think that waxes and wanes on you as the Wings of Redemption relationship and the Wings of Redemption timeline goes on. Because, we cut to now a year and a half. I was a junior in college at that point in time, and now I am about a little over half of a year post-grad. And the timeline with Wings of Redemption has changed in that amount of time. He's wanted to fix it. He's wanted it to stop. And not only has he wanted it to stop, he's gone through unjustified, unwarranted abuse throughout the time since then. It went really from Wings of Redemption making an ass of himself on stream to people relentlessly picking on him and trolling him and really making his existence and the people around him existence tumultuous, if that's not too much of an overstep, but it made his life extra stressful. And I think sending prostitutes to his house, sending pizzas paid and unpaid for, sending mechanics to his house. There was all kinds of people who were like laborers, were showing up to his house thinking that they were doing a job, and come to find out they were just part of the troll experience. They were part of a troll video in the making. And so I think it went from me saying, look at this guy, look at this ridiculous thing that this guy's doing, which it was at the time, which was what everybody was doing at the time. But since then, it really has turned into a relationship of picking on him and turning and being like the audience, the people who are making these videos have shifted into, if we can call them, the bad guys. And it's because of what happened with people getting sent to his house and these channels condoning it, though these channels continuing to make content out of that, but and to make it a market, a demographic for content, for things to for content to be consumed by other people. And so I think if I were to go back in time, maybe I wouldn't make this video the same way. I think instead of saying, hey, look at this terrible, evil, awful guy, look at him be terrible, evil, and awful, and no, you should not feel bad at him for when these things happened, I think I would rather show the angle of mental health, because I think it's true that we can see that Wings of Redemption isn't a character. I think we can go back and forth. Shoe Nice is an example of this character specific arc of going back and forth. Is he a character? Is he not? But as we've seen on H3 and PKA, he is truly a person who does not have it all together. And I think that that's kind of what we see a little bit with Wings. He's a person who those outbursts, those outlashes were real, I think, and I don't think that they were something to make views or to make money out of. And so I think that is the reason ultimately why I would make it different. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see more, and like if you enjoyed.